What lurks within the dark past of Vermont? Does the past leave behind residual or intelligent spirits? Or can there be things more darker than what we can see or feel? I'm Tessa Baker, and this is Haunted Vermont. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Haunted Vermont. I am your hostess this evening, Tessa Baker, and tonight's subject that we will be talking about is Emily's Bridge. So the story behind Emily's Bridge is that it's located in Stowe, Vermont, Golden Brook Bridge, and it is not exactly your ordinary covered bridge. This bridge is also known as Emily's Bridge due to the fact that it is haunted by a ghost named Emily. There are many stories of how Emily died on the bridge. One story is that she was supposed to elope with a lover who was meeting her at the bridge, and when he didn't show, she hung herself from the rafters. Another version of this Vermont legend also starts as a love story. Emily met a man who stole her heart, and the couple made plans to marry. The fateful day arrived, and Emily went to the church in her beautiful red wedding dress, ready to give herself to the gentleman in holy wedlock. The groom never arrived, and the jilted bride took the family wagon in a frenzy of anger and sorrow. She was merciless on the horses and whipped them until they were traveling at an incredible pace. Planning perhaps to confront the faithless groom as she approached the bridge, she failed to negotiate the turn right before the bridge and drove the horses and the carriage over the bank and onto the rocky brook below. Both the horses and Emily were killed in the accident. There is no written historical evidence that Emily ever existed, however. The first mention of the bridge being haunted by someone named Emily came after 1968 when a high school student wrote a paper on the subject claiming that while he or she was using a Ouija board on the bridge, oh boy, an entity presented itself named Emily. Other people using Ouija boards have reported that an entity has identified itself as Emily and said that she was killed on the bridge by her fiance's mother. Joseph Citro, who's Vermont's authority on all things haunted and ghostly, the real story of Emily's Bridge may not be quite so romantic or even true. In an interview with Obscure Vermont, Joe told Chad Abrovich the following: "The story of Emily's Bridge doesn't go back to the 1800s, but rather much more recently in the 1970s. A woman by the name of Nancy Wolfe Stead claimed that she was the one who created the story of Emily to scare local youth. There was a swimming hole somewhere near Stowe and Morrisville. She remembers making up the story of the bridge to amuse the kids. At the time, there was a huge surge in the occult and the paranormal in the flypaper that was popular culture, especially with the films like Exorcist that had recently debuted. She was also the one who came up with the name Emily. Even more intriguing is the fact that the Golden Brook Bridge may not even be the real Emily's Bridge." So, some of the strange happenings that people have, I guess, encountered on the bridge. Many people have visited the bridge, have experienced disturbing paranormal activity. People have reported scratch marks appearing on vehicles that were parked on the bridge and being touched or scratched by Emily's ghost. Often strange noises are heard on the bridge, such as footsteps, ropes tightening, and a girl screaming. Many have also reported seeing a white apparition around the area of Emily's Bridge. People that have parked their vehicle on the haunted bridge say that they tend to hear banging noises from Emily hitting the vehicle on the outside, or a dragging sound across the tops of their cars. The most distinct paranormal events tend to take place between the hours of 12 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. So I have Paul here with me because he's had some of his own experiences on Emily's Bridge. So I'm going to have him tell us a little bit about what happened with him and ask him some questions. So, Paul, you were on Emily's Bridge at one point and you had an experience on there, did you not?
Yeah, I did. I went with the crew that I had back when I used to do paranormal investigation, and we went on a clear starry night, I should say, under a full moon, and we probably got there around 8 o'clock at night. And to answer your question about experience, yes, we had quite a bit. When we first got there, we took a photograph, and right as we took the first 2 or 3, we actually had a white lady figure, which most people have seen or heard of a lady figure kind of on the right side of the bridge. And we actually captured almost as if she was pointing backward of the road that we actually came from. And then on the next photo that we got, it looked like she was almost as if she was fading away.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually, for capturing some photographic evidence. People have said to have accrued scratch marks or have had their vehicles scratched up. Isn't it true that something similar happened to you?
Yeah, we actually tested the whole series out, and what we actually did was we put my friend's car on the bridge, shut it off, and waited a couple minutes, because it supposedly said if you wait, you can almost hear or see as if like somebody is walking around your car. And you are also told that your car can even be scratched, and sometimes the area will be foggy or almost as if like there's a mist going on within the bridge, and we never had that. But when we started back up the car, which I think that was another thing where sometimes you can't even start your car when parked on the bridge, but we were able to start it, back it up, and my friend actually had a couple scratches on his hood that was not there before. There was also a couple other interesting things where I guess you could say it's very hard to explain, because I actually have some a video that I took just to help record our experience. And mainly what I'll say before the audio takes over is just to have you guys understand the video is this is a warm July night, and usually it's around 50, 60, I think it was, maybe 70, and anyway, it was above the temperature where you should not be seeing your breath, and usually around seeing your breath, the temperature has to be around 20 or below, I want to say, really. And we could actually see our breath on the bridge itself. July 3rd, I have no freaking idea what time it is right now. It's me and Kelly. We're about to do some DVR sessions, and Dan, I don't know if you can see Dan. Dan! He's taking some pictures, so we're going to see if we can catch anything. Holy crap. I can see my breath.
It just got cold.
Hello, I'm Robin Leach with a voice so loud even animals go, who the f*** are you?
Dude, you're not cold?
Yes,
are you cold? Okay.
All of a sudden it just got... Look.
Yeah, I know. Actually, do that again. I want to see if I can... Yeah, it seems like you can't really see it, but okay. We are...
On the count of 3?
We are breathing.
1, 2, 3, breathe.
It's really cold right here.
Yes, it is.
It's colder
Can
right
I-
Cold
here
enough to see your breath in the
than it
middle.
is right here.
Oh, there's a cold difference over here too. All right, I'm stepping outside of the bridge for a minute if I can see temperature-wise. All right, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe just the temperature playing with us. All right, anyway, time to start DVR session 3. Dan or Kelly, you may start.
It's at the very least 60 out.
57 degrees.
You don't see your breath at 57.
No. All right, who wants to start?
Let's check the Weather Channel. Find out what the temperature is where we are.
$61 degrees.
And we can see our breath.
61 degrees and we can see our breath. Interesting. The last thing that I had, well, a couple things actually happened. Our other person that was with us, I won't say name just to help conceal the privacy, but she had a really burning feeling on her leg, and it turns out that there was a mark of as if somebody or something were trying to scratch at her leg. However, me on the other hand, I don't know what happened to me, but I kind of started to get upset, and I started to call out the spirit of Emily, or really whoever was there, because later on after I got home, I noticed there was a picture where I had to zoom in, and it looked like there was actually a man on the bridge, even though the story goes it's a female. So getting a weird picture that looked like a man staring back at me that was on the bridge in the middle, really, it kind of started to pop questions to me. What are those questions? I really do not know, because if we're always been talking about a ghost spirit that has been hurting males, maybe it's really not the spirit of Emily after all. Maybe what is really going on is that the lady figure that people have been capturing may be the good spirit trying to tell us that there's actually something much more than just her here. And we don't even know who this male is, because I haven't even heard of anybody else. The last thing I will say is during the time of getting frustrated on the bridge, when calling out Emily, I did not feel it happen to me, but I did later on see some photos that made me wonder if my friend Dan, who was with me, captured the moment where something actually was behind me to scratch me. But the weird thing was, even though I didn't feel it at that point in time, I only started to feel it once I arrived back at my house, which was like an hour and a half, 2 hours later.
Wow. Pretty interesting, actually. And the fact that you had obtained scratches from the bridge itself, too, kind of points to how other people have had similar occurrences happen to them. So, Ruby Bates from the University of Vermont had also done a project for her school project, I should say, and she did a documentary on Emily's Bridge. She also had asked Paul to be a part of it and to fill in and give his story of his experiences that he had with it as well. So we'll pop that link in the description if you guys want to check that out. So with that being said, I think we've pretty much covered everything about Emily's Bridge, unless you can think of anything to add, Paul.
I think we covered it pretty well. I would just say the only thing I do not know anymore is if people can still get in trouble, or get like a ticket, I should say, for showing up at Emily's Bridge. But I know at one part that the neighbors were complaining about other partiers ruining the experience for everybody else because they were over there causing a racket and drinking and yelling and stuff, and that caused the police some suspicious activities, which led to now getting a ticket. But that ticket, I heard, is like $25, and yeah, I just don't know if that's going on anymore. But that is the last that I heard.
So, with that being said, this was another episode of Haunted Vermont and the subject matter of Emily's Bridge. Have a good one, guys. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support, head over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/Haunted Vermont, where you can pledge $1 a month or more and receive rewards every month you pledge. Ad-free and listening to the episodes before the public. Pledging more grants you access to the show where you can share your own stories and experiences on future episodes. I already fund another podcast 100%, so I'm asking help for this one. At least season 1 will have a total of 6 episodes, and then it'll depend on funds after that. Thank you for listening.